Taurus. This reading can be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Let's have a look first and foremost at love, romance, relationships, and all things love for Taurus. Okay, there's a lot of anxiety around love. 3 out of the 5 cards. 10 of Wands, 2 of Swords, 9 of Swords. There's an anticipation or anxiousness around love, okay? The 9 of Swords, things could be keeping you up at night, or something that someone said or didn't say could be keeping you up at night. I feel like with the 9 of Swords, it can even be tied into loneliness. Some of you, to avoid loneliness, might be connecting with the people that aren't necessarily good for you at this point in time. Maybe they carry a heaviness, maybe there's burdensome energy, maybe they've got baggage, or maybe there's a part of you that feels like you need to go above and beyond for them, Taurus. But that sort of energy could be coming up around love. If you are dealing with an air sign here, the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Queen of Swords has come up. I definitely feel like that might be more heightened for you, and this air sign could be displaying this sort of behavior towards you. If you're not dealing with an air sign, then in terms of communication, it's very stop and start. Some of you might be blocked or might be blocking someone from communication, from social media, from your phones, even blocking them out altogether from your life. You know, there's punishment here. So someone is suffering consequences in love, Taurus, whether it's you or whether it's you placing punishment on someone else for their wrongdoings or for things they did or didn't do. So that could be one of the reasons why the 9 of Swords is coming up. I often see the 2 of Swords as an ultimatum card. Yes, it's a decision that we need to make. Sometimes we're at a crossroads. I definitely feel there's either options in love or someone is confused about a connection. You've got the Divine Feminine coming up with the Moon here, which is that empathy and compassion I spoke about, but the Sun is in bigger form here. So again, practicality needs to be applied to relationships here. You need to be rational rather than rational and logical rather than emotional when making this decision. But yes, multiple options in love, absolutely, or someone who's blocked off to communication. But I do think for the most part, because the Queen overrides all these other sword cards, I do feel like you'll come to some sort of agreement or conclusion. The Queen of Swords is all about direction, and she needs that reassurance. She needs that validation. So there's some sort of validation you'll receive through words, through communication, through a text, through communication somehow. That's going to resolve something or give more power to you in some way. She's very determined by her attitude, however. So I feel like if this is an attitude, if this is an outlook, Taurus, it's something that you're going to have to keep an eye out on. Now, for all of you, it's not all bad. The 9 of Swords could be someone missing you or you missing them. I definitely feel there's someone that's still attached to you, that still carries you with them somehow. And maybe this person is coming through. It's keeping them up at night. Maybe they want to reach out, they want to contact you, but maybe you've blocked them. I definitely feel like that could be someone still lingering. I feel like they're still reflecting on the happy times, maybe in the beginning of the relationship or when you first came together. They're still reflecting back on what could be those yesteryears. They're still holding on to them quite tightly, as evident with the 4 of Pentacles. Now, if you're dealing with an earth sign, you might see this person withdraw a little bit or hold on to you tighter. So it's either they're wanting more codependence from you, maybe they're becoming extra clingy, maybe they're exhibiting that sort of behavior. The 4 of Pentacles can also be holding on to something because we know we truly value it. So this could be you finally realizing how much you value someone in your life. And this is you putting a very strong value on this person or holding them in very high regard or high esteem. If you're dealing with a fire sign, the fire sign has come up as a 10 of Wands, and this person could feel like they're taking on a lot in the relationship. It is burdensome energy, but he manages to do the job well done. So I do feel like it's all about actions rather than words. Words can be very conflicting. Words can be very confusing this month. I think it's all about the action people take towards you, towards your relationship, towards your connection. I think that's something you need to pay attention to this month. But again, I feel like it's laborious for him. There's something that's become laborious, something that's become mundane, something that's become tedious that needs to be either spoken about, addressed, acknowledged. Can't avoid it anymore, Taurus. There's something you shouldn't avoid. It's a learning curve. The child is here in the cards. It's a learning curve. It's a learning experience. Otherwise, you know, it's almost like the hangman here suffers in silence. Here he is hanging upside down. He has to suffer the consequences, yes, but for how long? I feel for some of you, there might be someone here that's punishing you, or bringing up the past still, or still talks about it, still gives credence, or still tries to relive that part, whether it's something you've done, whether it's something they've done. There's still someone that's bringing this back up. It keeps coming back up. There's someone that's still hung up about something that was done, maybe hung up about you, or potentially you still hung up about someone here, Taurus, someone that still is linked to you in some way, whether consciously or subconsciously. You must know on some level you're still linked to something here. There's a lot of thought and attention and emphasis, memories that are being placed on that person, or that connection even. Let's move on and have a look at your career though, and finance, and see what's coming up for you in those areas. Okay, you've got the signs of Gemini and Libra that have come up around you in career. So you might be meeting or working with someone under one of these signs. Communication is your strong point, and unions are your strong point in terms of career. Oftentimes the lovers point to a soulmate romantic connection. So I feel for a lot of you Taurians, you might be working with a soulmate or meeting a soulmate through work, creative practices, goods, business, services, and transactions. It's also about the universe at large, the angels, spirit guides, God, law of attraction that's connecting you to the right people. So I want you to pay attention to the relationships, the business connections, the networking opportunities that arise for you, because they could be very crucial. You've got an angel bringing the two of you together here, so it could be someone of the opposite sex, same sex. The Lover's card is a very strong union here. That union is further reiterated by the Justice card, the scales being and representing the sign of Libra, which is a sign of unionship and bondship. So that's coming up. There's also a contract coming through here. Anything to do with legalities, settlements, justice. Justice from injustice. Sometimes the Devil card can be seen as injustice because of the power he exerts and exercises over us. Whether this is an employee, whether this is a colleague, that this is management, whether this is your competitors, maybe someone that's suing you, maybe workers' compensation. I feel like justice is coming from a period of injustice, especially in career. Whether this is finally you receiving the accreditation, the acknowledgement you deserve, the money that you're entitled to, Taurus, anything along these lines I feel is coming in. You've been waiting about it for a while. Anything to do with protection as well. I did mention competition, but the Nine of Wands is also protection or needing protection. So I feel like you're protecting your interests here through insurances, through copyrights, through clauses, contracts. These things are popping up for you. Some of you with the Six of Swords could be moving departments, moving overseas, or getting a new opportunity which may require you living in a different location. There's a contract coming forward here. Some of you, if you're planning to move houses or countries, you're pretty much sailing right into a contract here. So if you're worried about securing employment or getting clients or building up inventory, I feel like those things will open up to you. Again, the right people will connect you to people, places, resources, and things that you require to get whatever it is going. So I feel for the most part, some of you are moving towards a recontract. So say, for example, if you've worked for somewhere temporarily, and you've been waiting for, I don't know, you've been waiting for termination or redundancy, or you're waiting for them to cut the contract, there might be a recontracting of some kind here, okay? But for some of you with the Four of Swords, you could be moving away from a work situation entirely. Four of Swords is laying something to rest here. You can see the tomb effigy. So it could indicate a quiet period coming in for some of you in terms of work, maybe money making, or you to lay low to avoid certain dramatic elements that have come up in 3 of the 6 cards for the general reading. So I'm wondering if there's something that you need to take a break from. Some of you might need to take a vacation, go on an adventure, take time away. Others just need to withdraw and take time to reflect and maybe be inspired again, especially if you're working in a creative or freelancing position. You might need that time off. You might need that time to think and reanalyze and restructure yourself. But with the Lovers card and the Devil coming up together, I foresee for some of you there might be an affair or scandalous or dramatic events that involve romance. It could even be competition. I don't know if someone might be signing a deal with you, but on the sly, they might be doing another deal with another person. I'm not sure if this is affairs, if this is like of a sexual nature, especially if you work together with a loved one, with a partner, with a husband, a wife. There could be some tensions, but there could be affairs. There could be workplace scandal this month that could affect you work-wise or even affect reputation. Again, the consequences are suffered here through the Hanged Man. So something might come to public knowledge and you've been trying to hide or protect it for a while, whether this is things like an affair, a restructure, the fact that your company might make some people redundant, something that isn't the most best news maybe with the Devil card. For some of you it is good news, absolutely. You've got the sun shining, so it is good news coming to pass here. But these other cards to me, the Four of Swords, Nine of Wands, the Devil, indicate to me that you might need to lay low because of a situation that you might be involved in, or you might even be dragged into this. You might even be tied to it, whether you're aware of it or not. Now, the Lovers card, as much as it's Gemini, Geminis love to get involved in scandal and gossip, okay? Very big on communication. Anything that excites and stimulates and appeals to them, they'll get involved in. So I feel like, yes, some of you are definitely casting a wider net in terms of communication or the people that you're connecting with, the kinds of people you're connecting with. But on the other side of the spectrum, I think you need to be mindful that you draw the line when it comes to gossip and scandal and passing on communication that is confidential, Taurus, okay? And just be mindful of who you're telling things to as well. I will leave it at that though, Taurus. Thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it.